On Saturday evening, just 2 days before Christmas, we have a mouth-watering game, a huge game, top of the table clash. Arsenal will be travelling away to Anfield to take on Liverpool, who is sitting just 1 point behind us. It is gonna be an absolutely massive game, and in today's video we'll be previewing the game, talking about the potential starting 11 and how I think the game will go. So what's going on, everyone? You're listening to Gunner Central here. I hope you're all doing well. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get into it. Now, Arsenal are coming into this game with 3 wins in our last 5, 1 draw and 1 defeat, and our most recent game was that superb performance, absolutely jaw-dropping performance from the team, winning 2-0 against Brighton in a game where, again, we could have probably won 5 or 6-0. We were just that good from the first minute to the last. I didn't think we slipped up once. Declan Rice, Martin Odegaard, Kai Havertz, that midfield was absolutely outstanding, dominated the game, and if they can perform that same level against Liverpool at Anfield, I think we have all the means to go out and win the game. Liverpool are coming into the game in pretty decent shape as well, with the exact same last 5 game record as us, with 3 wins, 1 draw and 1 defeat. Their last game was a battering of West Ham in the Carabao Cup quarterfinals, winning 5-1 at home just a couple days ago. But their previous Premier League game was the 0-0 draw with 10-man Man United, and I know I said in a couple videos on my other channel that Man United did really well to hold out Liverpool, and I stay by that, but at the very same time, I think that draw is a lot on Liverpool. They just weren't firing. They weren't really looking good enough in the final third, and the game ended up being 0-0. And before that game, they had a 2-1 loss in a pretty meaningless Europa League game against Union, but it's Liverpool at the end of the day. They are a really good team. They may be a little bit injury hit, but they are still a really good team. Salah is world class, probably the best winger in world football at the moment. Yes, I think Salah is better than Saka. It's going to be a huge game. I suppose a big positive we can be taken into this game is that our last game was Brighton on the weekend, and we've had a whole week, 6 days to get ready for this game, whereas Liverpool just played recently on Wednesday. And yes, the game was pretty easy against West Ham, but still having to play a game is tiring for them. So we should have a lot more energy than them. We should be fired up. We should be ready to go. This is a huge game. We haven't beaten any top 6 teams away from home this season, and this would be a perfect time to do so. Top of the table clash. We're 1 point ahead of them. We need to get a victory. We could get a draw and still sit top of the table, but with this Premier League title race being so tight already, we need wins. We need any points we can get, and this is a winnable game. It's going to be a really tough game. Liverpool are in good form, especially with that recent win, but I believe we're in good form just the same as them. Our midfield is looking so beautiful with Kai, Odegaard and Declan Rice. I recently made a video about Declan Rice probably being the best midfielder in the world. He's probably second. Realistically, I'd have Jude ahead of him, but I stand by that. Declan is such a pivotal player, and if Declan puts in a 9 out of 10 performance against Liverpool, it's going to be really hard on Liverpool to break us down and get some goals. Saliba and Gabriel have been as fire as ever, but this Liverpool team is really good. Alisson is looking like the best goalkeeper in the world. Trent is looking like prime Trent Alexander-Arnold, just a superb player. Yes, he has his defensive woes, but offensively he makes up for that and more. Like I said, Salah's probably the best winger in the game. It's going to be a really tough game, and like I said, the positives we can take into this is that we've had a whole week to rest, and Liverpool are quite injury struck at the moment, so maybe, just maybe, we can capitalize on Liverpool's injury woes. And most recently against Liverpool in the last 5 games, it's not all that good for us. It's been 2 draws, 2 Liverpool wins and just 1 Arsenal win. We haven't ever really performed that well against Jurgen Klopp. There's been times where Arteta and Arsenal have just been smashed by Klopp, especially at Anfield. The last time we played at Anfield, we drew 2-2 with them, and the time before that in 2022 was a 0-0 draw. So it's going to be a really, really tough one, and this is a game that I think if we want to win or even want to get a draw, we have to be as close to perfect as possible. Liverpool is going to be ready for it. Anfield is going to be electric as it always is, but especially for this game, we are definitely going to have our backs against the wall for a large portion of the game. But again, if our midfield can perform the same way we did against Brighton, now yes, I acknowledge that Brighton is a lower competition, but if we can perform very similar to that, control the game, I genuinely think we have a good chance at this game. It's going to be tough, but I can see a way for us to win. It's not going to be easy. Liverpool's going to really test our defense. We can't be lackluster in the final third like we were against Brighton, just wasting chance after chance. We have to be clinical. We have to make our chances count. Now, going on to injuries and suspensions for Arsenal. Obviously, still Thomas Partey is out. Tomiyasu still out. Vieira, Elneny, Timber, and most recently, Jorginho is going to be out for the game, which I think is kind of a big blow. If we're holding on to the game, it's like 5 minutes left. You want to bring on someone like Jorginho for odegaard and hold on the game. Jorginho has obviously that experience. He can slow the game down. He's really good defensively, much better than he gets credit for. But I still think we're not too bad on the injury front. Speaking of injuries, Liverpool are a mess. No McAllister, no Jota, no Gravenberg, no Thiago, no Robertson, no Matip. I mean, they are a mess, but still, they are a really good team, both on paper and the way they play. It's not going to be easy. They could essentially have half their team on injuries, and they're still going to go out and probably put in a really good performance at Anfield. So yes, on paper, you're thinking, ooh, they look like they're limping here. Liverpool don't look too good. We should know this by now. Liverpool are a serious team this season. They have been so good. I've made a video on my football channel about how you should never count Liverpool out, and I am not doing that today, believe me. So now going on to the starting 11 that I would play if I was in charge, if I was Mikel Arteta. The starting 11 I would play. In goal, I think it's going to be David Raya. Would I play David Raya? I wouldn't. I would play Ramsdale. I think Ramsdale's a better keeper. I prefer Aaron Ramsdale, but each to their own. We're going to expect Raya to start in goal. And I mean, then after that, I would love to be playing Tomiyasu. I would love to be playing Tomiyasu at left back with Ben White at right back, purely because I'm nervous about Salah on the right hand side, but I suppose we are going to be forced to play Zinchenko at left back. It's going to be Zinchenko versus Salah. Salah's going to be licking his lips for this one. I don't know how we handle that. I suppose you got to make Declan Rice every time that Zinchenko comes into midfield. Declan's going to have to go full in that left back spot, kind of how Xhaka did it last season. Gabriel, who's going to be our left centre back, is going to have to be very focused on Salah. I would love to play Tomiyasu, but he's injured obviously, so it's going to be Zinchenko at left back. I don't know what I'm doing for that matchup. I'm kind of going to have to just pray for that matchup. At the right back position, I think it's going to have to be Ben White, and the two centre backs would obviously be William Saliba and Gabriel. The midfield, I kind of alluded to this throughout the video, but to me, it just has to stay the same. Has to be the exact same midfield we played against Brighton. Declan Rice, Kai Havertz, and Martin Odegaard. They all performed really well against Brighton. Kai Havertz obviously got another goal, and I think it's a good enough midfield to give Liverpool some threats. Declan Rice is going to have to be on it though. And my starting front three, kind of obvious again. I would go Bukayo Saka on the right, Gabriel Martinelli on the left. I know there's a large shout for Nelson to start on the left, maybe Trossard start on the left, but to me it still has to be Gabriel Martinelli. Martinelli is still a superb player, and even when he doesn't score or get assists, he has really good performances. Slight bit wasteful against Brighton, but I have no doubt he's going to correct that against Liverpool. So for me on the left wing, it would be Gabriel Martinelli, and up top, surprise, surprise, we're going to go with Gabby Jesus. But yeah, guys, that's the video. Let me know in the comments below, what are your predictions for the game? How do you see the game playing out? And what starting 11 would you play against Liverpool? Let me know all that in the comments below. Please be sure to smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one.